Good night, this is the student David Arraquio from UNAD University. In this opportunity I'm going to make a video for the course Testing and Evaluation for English Language Teaching. In this opportunity I decided to choose the topic Youth and Technology to implement in one lesson. The lesson that I am going to explain in this video is about how to teach simple past using technology to adolescents. So let's get started. For this activity I want the students to practice the speaking skills, of course. In my lesson I will use this material, this book, Cutting Edge. I think it has many great things to practice the simple past, but of course you can use a different material if you want. In this blog, students can practice simple past, so I recommend it. In the first part of the lesson, I want the students to listen to a story, and in that case to watch a story, a short clip from Kung Fu Panda, where they use a lot of expressions and phrases in simple past. I think it will be a nice introduction of the topic, so the students can understand how they can use the simple past. In the second part of the activity, I will make the presentation of the structure of the tense, and also I will make the differences and uses of simple past. It is also important to teach them to make a great, how to say, that they understand the correct pronunciation so they can speak well, especially because sometimes students have some problems with the tenses in past. I mean, it is it is common to listen to students saying expressions, for example, I work at or I look at, and this is incorrect, so they have to know how to pronounce the verbs well. I mean, they have to say I worked or I looked, and I think it will help them to sound more natural and more correct in the foreign language. In the next part of the activity, I want the students to make some practice. I want them to, for example, make a difference between past and present verbs. So in that case, I think it would be nice to use a video. For example, they can see a video where they are telling a story, and they have to complete or fill in the story with the correct verb. Here I put the video, the link, that they can see the use of this practice. Another activity that I want them to make is to identify verbs in past. For that activity, I decided to use a song by Katy Perry that they use many sentences and expressions in past. So the idea is that the students try to identify which verbs are in past, and they try to complete the song. Another great activity that the students can make is to identify the sounds of verbs in that case, irregular verbs, the ed sounds, when it's voiced. For example, the verb cold is I called you yesterday. Or for example, the difference with the d sound and t sound. I think it's so important they can make difference. For example, cold and looked. And of course, in which situations the verb is correct to be with the e sound. For example, when they finish in t. Okay, want, for example, wanted. I think that those kinds of activities will help the students to understand the correct use of the simple past. For the production part, I want the students to write the story of their last vacations. I think with this activity they will be able to reinforce the knowledge they already know about the simple past. How am I going to evaluate the students? I think that I have to observe their progress during the lesson And of course, in a later lesson, I should make a quiz. So I will be using the two kinds of assessment, in that case the formative for the first part and the summative for the second part. For the final assignment, I want them to write 30 sentences in different structures, I mean in affirmative and negative and questions, where they can practice the simple past. And finally, in the consolidation, I want the students to not only write but also speak. So I want the students to make a presentation, a short presentation, about 7 minutes, where they say story in using the simple past.
Students can create a video using YouTube or the web speaker to create the podcast.
The use of virtual materials for virtual classes is very important. So I think it's a great way to use them in our classes. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope the explanation was clear. See you in another opportunity, and thank you very much.